Ladies and gentlemen, we are here live, CityStreetsW.com, on the beautiful northeast side of Wichita, Kansas, the best side of, I said, on a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Wednesday evening. We're here with Mr. Brandon Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Putting it down, community activist, director of CORE. Mr. Johnson. Yes, sir. Tell the people about you and what you do.
Oh, man, about me, it's a lot to it. But we just started this organization, CORE. I'm one of the co-founders, executive director, and we plan on doing a lot of work in this community. We're focusing on 4 main areas here: career development, neighborhood revitalization, community service, tutoring, mentoring, and counseling, and prevention intervention.
Right on. Putting it down, putting it down.
I'm trying. It's a lot of work.
Right on. Well, let me ask you this then. Since you are involved in the community, tell me what got you involved into the community. What's the drive and what's the passion? And where'd you grow up at? Did you grow up on this side of town?
Yeah. I grew up. I started off in the heart of the hood, man. 15th and Fountain. I was over there when I was younger. Moved out to out there on Rock Road for about 1 year, and then over on where I live now off of Old Manor off of 21st Street. What really got me started in the community was I ran a summer job program. I was 19. Initially, I was playing football. I didn't really care about a lot of stuff. This job paid $10 an hour. I took it, and it was real powerful when I gave the first young lady her job. Her grandmother was on the phone crying.
Right.
And to me that was real powerful that I had that much influence to make somebody that happy. And since then, man, I loved it. I loved being able to make people happy that way and give jobs. And with the program, we also started training youth to really know how to get and keep jobs. That was the best part about it.
Right on.
So that keeps me in the community, being able to make that impact.
I like that. I like that. And running with that, I'm gonna get at you here for a second. I want to split this question up because there's 2 answers, and they're different. But I want your views on both of them. Let me know. In your view, what do you think is some of the biggest obstacles the Wichita community is facing as far as growth? And then let me branch off on that and let me ask you this, and you can answer them consecutively however you want. What do you think is some of the biggest ills facing the minority community in Wichita?
I'm going to take that one in the same.
Okay.
In the minority community, African American, I'll even say Hispanic a little bit. I think our biggest problem is that we don't work together. We don't communicate. Right. There's a lot of people who just want all the credit.
Right.
And that's one of the biggest things that helped create CORE was we're not like that at all.
Right.
And when you try to get people to start working together, it's always, well, what am I going to get out of this? Me.
Right.
And it's like we're trying to do this for the community.
Right.
So I think that's one of the biggest issues. And then secondly is legitimate businesses. There's so many people. I can't think of all the names off top, but there was an organization, New Beginnings. There were several other organizations that are no longer here, and these people are in prison for embezzling money or using funds unwisely. The transparency is not there. And I think that affects us as a city and community, because I look at the city through the community. Right. And if our community is flourishing, then the city flourishes.
Right.
But all the high unemployment, that comes back to minority communities. Ours is always double what the national, state, and city is.
Right.
So if we're struggling, to me, the city struggles. And if we're not winning, then the city's not winning, in my opinion.
Right on.
So I think those are the biggest issues. And even collaboration. People that we've talked to and tried to collaborate with, we've created a new network of people that we're working with. But it's other people who just, I'm in it for me, and if I can't control what it is that you want me to be a part of, I'm not going to be a part of it, which is fine. I mean, if they want to do that.
Right.
But I think that there's enough of that going on to where it's an issue in the community.
Right on. So with that, you elaborated again on CORE. For those who don't know, CORE, what's the definition, the background? What is CORE? CORE is, I think, the short answer is it's too big for words. CORE is going to be the organization that changes this city, that changes this state. Not necessarily by itself, but just by the thought, the idea. Ideas are powerful. And ours is, it's in our mission statement to work with other people, to organize different organizations around a common goal. Wow. Like our youth employment program, which we want to launch next year. If we can get enough organizations to
work together around that, to fundraise around that, to help out in the training, to help out in getting these kids paid. And then you have a reference network. So at 14, you know, it's always, you're able to work at 14, but nobody wants to hire you.
Right.
So we hire you. We give you the experience, we give you the training, we give you the reference, we give you the networking. At that point, you're able to get the job that you want.
Right on.
But if we can organize around all these areas, like you take the program we're going to launch here pretty soon. This is straight for City Streets because I haven't said it out in public yet.
Yeah, boy.
The program called New Light, Neighborhood Revitalization Program. We plan on really changing the look of Northeast Wichita.
Right.
People say some areas look run down, our houses are run down, people throw trash in the streets. With this program, if we can organize places like Habitat for Humanity, us, maybe Mennonite Housing,
right.
And you see a few new houses coming up, but if we can get some of the older houses and just revitalize them, new paint, new siding, redo the yards, pick up the trash in the community, people might start treating it better.
Right.
So, I mean, with that, we really intend to change a lot of things.
Right on.
And we're already working on organizing different organizations around that so we can get that done. But I mean, it's things like that that will change. And to me, it seems simple. A lot of people might have thought, hey, this is great, let's tear down these houses, let's build new ones. But nobody's really trying to revitalize those houses.
Right.
Because I think you can affect the community as a whole at that point. And then if we're not the only ones doing it, we're working with these organizations. So if Habitat is doing green, then we're over on Madison. And somebody else is on another street. So then we just all together take on the community like that.
I like that. I like that. And let me definitely say I like the youth employment program. I think that is just a tremendous idea because we need more of our youth to start getting those references to be able to do something constructive with the time and get paid legally other than having the idle time.
Yeah.
And we know what happens when our youth have idle time. Because I'm an adult, and if I get idle time, it's all bad.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's particularly good because my man hated a job, so we need to get him. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. So with all the things, the good things that you're starting and dropping in the community, let me ask you this: where's the drive? Where's the passion coming from to accomplish all these goals?
It just comes from, I see a need for whatever reason. I've always had this connection to people, and there's so many things I could say. I can make the comparison as I was growing up in the hood. Even though we was poor, we didn't have anything, and I was eating Spam sandwiches and cheese and Roman noodles, cheese sandwiches. People seemed happier. It seemed like something was good going on. The house that I live in right now with my wife is a house that my mom was able to get through a program that President Clinton pushed through.
Right.
And it just seemed like through Bush, not to attack him, I disagree with some things, but
right on.
You know, it just seemed like that happiness went away. More struggle came. And looking at the community and looking back at history in the black community,
right on.
Back when the civil rights movement was taking place, we really took care of one another. And I look at the struggle that we face today and you compare it to that, and it's a lot different. We're not taking care of each other. So I think that if we can start taking care of one another again, then we empower each other, then we can rise back up to where we were then and surpass it a lot more. So the passion is just really looking at the youth of today, not necessarily this young brother, but you see these kids walking around with these pants down here. You ask them about getting a job and they want to go to the interview with the pants down here.
Right.
And they might be creased, but it's not anything professional. And you have to know how to play the game if you want to win. Exactly. And a lot of these youth don't. So I think that's one of the biggest things. If I can give that back and maybe make a difference in that way, that really drives me to do it.
Right on.
And that really drove CORE. I mean, even the question earlier about, one of the problems in the city, that really is what was bringing CORE together. The conversation that brought CORE was, man, we need something different. Right. Gang violence is rising. Not necessarily with the older folks, but it was the kids from like 10 to 13 out with guns that weren't registered, shooting each other. You know, you can't go have fun no more. And again, those kids not having jobs. They might have 80 pairs of Jordans, but no pairs of dress shoes, no slacks. And, I was talking with Mr. Benford, one of the other co-founders, about it. And it was just, we need something. And alone, my name is not powerful enough to bring people together.
Right.
I'm still pretty much unknown here. A few people know me, but most people don't. And Mr. Benford has a real strong name in the community. But even then, it was like, we need something. So we decided to create an organization. It was like, with this, man, we really can start changing things with those ideas.
I like that. I like that. And let me say, I commend you from where you come from to where you are now, because I can relate to that. You know, I grew up over there off of 21st Street, off of 21st and Pie. I love y'all. And, you know, mom's was on welfare. You know, pops was doing his thing locked away. And it's always empowering, you know, to reflect on where you come from, where you are, and where you can go, and then to have that responsibility. I won't even say responsibility, but to have that drive in your heart to turn around and want to give back. I like that, and I definitely commend you for that. So with that, let me ask you this: you got something coming up Tuesday? Tell people what we're doing with this Tuesday.
Tuesday, February 21st. We're gonna have our dads volunteer training and sign up again. The first one you were a part of. It was a great turnout. We got trained. We're getting men back into schools, not necessarily just black men. We're just trying to get men in these schools for these youth, because men are missing from the situation right now. So we're trying to get another big turnout, get people signed up and trained. It's about an hour, and then we'll get men back in these schools. The program is called DADS. That stands for Dads Actually Doing Something. You don't have to be a dad to be in the program, just a man trying to make a difference in the life of a youth. 30 minutes to an hour really makes a big difference. And that's what we're trying to do. We're going to be in Spate and Gordon Parks this year, and our goal is to expand in the fall, and we're going to be working with a lot of organizations come the fall. So that's what we're trying to do then, and we'll be trying to do those trainings probably once every 3 weeks to get more men involved.
Right on, right on. Won't keep you long, but definitely tell the people, how can they get in touch with you, get in touch with your programs? Where do we find Mr. Brandon Johnson Core? How do we get in touch with you?
You can check out our website, coreofwichita.org, COREOF, and then Wichita. My phone number's out there, the office phone number, 425-8146. My cell phone, 768-9101. Email, bjohnson@coreofwichita.org. I'm on Facebook. You can just look up Brandon J. Johnson. Somewhere on there you'll find me, or look up CORE. The official name for CORE is Community Operations Recovery Empowerment. So you can look that up too. Somewhere in there you'll find me, or I'll be out in the city somewhere on the 21st. If you want to help out, we'll be here at CORE. Address is 1004 North Madison. You can come out, see us there, and you'll probably see me out somewhere at some point.
Excellent. Anything else you want to say to people? I mean, I want you. This is, like I said, City Streets. We the past year we've really stretched to try to get involved in the community, and I think it's important. You know, a lot of people make a donation and they say we're helping. You know, donations is fine, but we need a lot of foot soldiers. So like I said, brother, I really cannot say thank you enough and commend you for what you out here doing. So I definitely, is there anything else that you want to say to the people, get out to the people, anything that we forgot? I want to make sure we get it.
Well, I appreciate that for one. I mean, like you said, we need bodies. You know, we don't have much funding right now. Donations would be awesome. We definitely will accept those. We have PayPal on our website. You can always drop them by our office if you want to. But for our programs, we need dedicated people to make a difference. And that's part of our thought. We need people to change the mindset. It takes a village to raise a child. It's going to take a village to change things, and we need that village. When our community garden program starts, I haven't pushed that either. That's new for you. Once we get that, we need people to help in the garden. We need youth so we can teach them how to garden. Because if we ever go through times like this again, these youth will know how to do their own garden.
Right.
They don't have to go to the store and spend their money. So we need bodies for that. We need men for the DADS program. In the fall, we plan to have a women's program. We need women for that. Next year, we'll need financial resources for the summer job program, and we'll also need places for these youth to work, good positive role models for them. So we need both. We need the finances, yes. You know, we need to operate and be able to pay for things, but we need bodies.
Right on.
And we really need people. And another thing we got coming up, it's called the People's Agenda. We want to start addressing issues in the community. And this won't be like any type of thing that you've been to before, where you sit down and you have somebody preaching to you about the issues that you face when you already know that. This is more of, let's talk about what's working, what's not working, and how we can get what's not working to work, and maybe some new ideas. And then actually go out and do it, rather than just talk about it. Because as I've told you, I'm not a talker. I like action. We can sit down, we can talk, we can plan, but I need something to happen very soon after that.
Right on.
And I'm not really one